Hi, and welcome to Our Small Table. Today we're making cast iron macaroni and cheese. Here's our finished dish. Let's see how we got here. You can actually make the pasta in your cast iron skillet as well if you'd like to. Just do it the same way you would do it in a regular pan. I prefer not to do that because the weight of the water and the pasta, it's all hot and boiling, and the weight of the cast iron skillet, it's just too much for me to carry it to the sink and drain it. I'm always concerned that I'm going to drop it and spill boiling hot water all over myself. Pasta's already been made. I only cooked it for 5 minutes because we don't need it cooked perfectly. It's going to cook again in the oven. The oven is preheated at the moment. We've got our butter melted. We add the flour. You start out making a roux. Our salt and pepper. And you want it to cook through, but you don't want to burn the flour. That's why you keep it moving the whole time. Now you can do a roux at various levels of darkness. Brown roux, a light roux. We're just going to do a fairly light roux today. That's about as dark as I'm going to let it get. You want to add your milk all at once. Keep on stirring. Make sure you get into those corners. And this is where you have to be patient. Adding that milk, which was much cooler than the butter and flour, caused the flour to break up a bit into chunks. And it needs to work its way back down so it can thicken up the liquid. Turn the heat down a little bit. It's a little bit hard to see on the camera, but you can certainly see that it is bubbling up. You just want to keep it going, scraping the bottom with your whisk, waiting for it to thicken up. Once you've made a white sauce, which is what this is, you can go a number of different directions with it. You can do a lemon chive sauce from here, an herb garlic sauce. There's a way of doing a curry that starts with a white sauce, cherry. There's a lot of different options. While I stir that, I've got my breadcrumbs here to the side and my cheese. I'm going to take a little bit of cheese off the top and just put it into my breadcrumbs for later. It's very easy to rush a white sauce and fail to get it thick enough. And what I say about white sauces is that the worst that can happen if you're patient is that you overcook it. And if you really overcook it, you can start again. It's just flour, butter, milk, salt, and pepper. It's not the most expensive ingredients that you're going to buy. So if you have to start again, start again. But after you've done it a few times, you start to have a sense of at what point it's thickened up the way you want it to. If you have a saucier instead of a saucepan or a skillet, that's a great place to make a white sauce because it's so much easier to get into those corners with your whisk. I think we're just about there, and go ahead and add the cheese. And stir that through. Whenever possible in making a sauce, you want to use freshly grated cheese that you yourself have grated or shredded. You can obviously buy shredded cheese in the grocery store, and I use that for all sorts of things. But one of the things that you get in ready shredded cheese is, in order to keep it from clumping in the bag, it's been coated with a potato starch, sometimes a corn starch, so it's got an additional ingredient in it, and that will change the makeup of your sauce a little bit. You might find that it's a little more bland than you want it to be because of the extra starch, which is a thickener, and doesn't bring any flavor to the table. So our sauce is looking pretty good. I'm going to add our pasta, and I'm going to go ahead and turn off the burner because this is going to go into the preheated oven. Just stir it up so that that sauce is nicely distributed in the pasta. And then, oh, I've lost a piece of pasta over the edge there. Try to flatten it out a little bit. And mix together that cheese and the breadcrumbs. I'm once again using breadcrumbs that I made from bread that I made, but if you don't have that, I recommend panko as a good breadcrumb. It gets nice and crispy. Just want to sprinkle this over the top. Coming up to the edges as much as possible because that will give you that nice crispy browned bit. And this will go into the oven. I shall return. And here's our completed dish. Thanks for joining me at Our Small Table. The recipe I've used today is linked in the video description and is available at OurSmallTable.com. Next time we have yet another one of our cast iron cooking meals. Click subscribe so you don't miss out.